This Chinese family of three entered the United States and got their green cards confiscated because the CBP officer did not believe that they resided in the US, that they abandoned their green card potentially, and asked them to come back to deferred inspection a month later to review all the documents. This family contacted us. I just went with them yesterday. At the end of the interview, the officer smiled and gave them a warning. Please do not leave that long again. And then the case is done and they're now able to get the green card back. There's so many nuances to this particular story and just this situation in general. So I'm gonna try to walk you through everything. Let's go. Hi everyone, I'm Joseph and I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. So the legal problem is green card holders sometimes have to leave the United States. And when they come back in, their green cards could be confiscated. Any officer reviewing this case sees past 6 years, you were not here. You came in and you just left within a few days. And then you came back just the day before our interview. They didn't show up to the first interview, right? Because they didn't get the green card yet, they couldn't get on the plane, so they were still abroad. So we had to go to the interview where we're supposed to prove that they did not abandon their residency in the United States, and we're supposed to prove investment ties and home ties, and we had to just kindly explain to the officer, they left. They are not here. Can you extend this interview a month? They'll come back. Can you imagine the officer's reaction? Well, I'll tell you, not happy. Not happy at all. They were saying they applied for a new green card. Yes, I could see that. Yes, I could see they already got it. It's being mailed over. But they're supposed to be here and prove to us that they did not abandon their green card. We can say this was a no-show and we could directly refer them to immigration court. Do you want us to do that? Of course, we said, no, please don't, right? They had an emergency, they had to leave. Please extend it by a month. They'll come back and we will show you everything. They did that. Thank goodness. We told the client, and you know what? They didn't want to come back for the second appointment. We had to almost beg them to come back, say this was really important, right? And if you don't come back, I don't think I can help you a second time, right? We already helped you the first time to come in and you were able to get in without directly going to court. We were able to help you go to the first interview and not directly be sent to court. But the officer has the discretion and have the ability to put it in the record so that next time you come back, your green card's confiscated again, maybe put a warrant on you, and maybe give you a notice to appear, or maybe directly force you to abandon on the spot. It's a very bad situation. So they finally listened and said, fine. So I met with them and then we appeared at deferred inspection and I explained to at least 3 different officers their situation. We presented everything. We presented their intent to purchase a property in the United States. So we had a real estate agent, we had all the different houses that they're looking at, we had all the funds, we had all the tax returns spanning back all the way to when they first got the green card, and we had all the business documents to show that their business ties in the US, and we had the emergency reasons of why they had to be abroad for so long and all the explanations. Of course, we prepared all of that the first time they entered, and then also the second time we went to the seat officer, as well as this third time. And so we sat there, we reviewed everything, we rehearsed everything. I was going to explain, I was a translator and attorney. They were able to present and explain everything. Luckily, at the deferred inspection, at this meeting, we were able to explain it. The officer was willing to listen. At the very end of the day, the officer looked at the new green card, looked at the document, said, okay, just please apply for a reentry permit. Don't stay out for this long. And then they were able to give the green card back. One of the biggest differences that this case taught me was how important for continuity. Right? What do I mean by that? I was the person that helped the client get back into the country the first time. I was on the record as the translator for their situation when they came in and got the green card confiscated. Then the first meeting where they didn't show up, I was able to go and talk to a CBP officer. It was a different CBP officer than the first time around, right? And then the third meeting, right, where we came back with the clients again, it was a different officer. It's always different officers reviewing different cases, and they have to relearn the entire history. But because I was the centerpiece in all 3 of these incidents, I was able to quickly explain, feed, read the situation, provide documents, and then the officer was able to understand very succinctly and clearly without making it very complicated. 3 people plus an attorney having to go to deferred inspection, having to sit in the room. That interrogation process could have been a 6-hour ordeal. So very happy, everything kind of wrapped up very smoothly. Hopefully you could see from this experience how the client's prepared and how you need to prepare if your green card got confiscated and how you need to go meet the deferred inspection. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk to you about it. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.